This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 454. I am 1 in 5. The Truth Behind Postpartum Depression and Anxiety by Cara Harvey of apurposedrivenmom.com. Hey there, old friend. I'm Joss Marie, and welcome back to Optimal Relationships Daily. This is the show where I narrate to you from Monday to Friday, and I cover a vast range of relationship articles to help you improve how you connect with yourself and others. And today, I'll be narrating a post from Cara Harvey that talks all about her personal experience with postpartum depression and anxiety. As suffering in silence is unfortunately something that many of us do when we experience this, I can't wait to share Cara's insights with you. So let's hear it and start optimizing your life. I am 1 in 5. The Truth Behind Postpartum Depression and Anxiety by Cara Harvey of apurposedrivenmom.com. I was sitting in my therapist's office one day and we were talking about guilt and shame and why I always feel like if something goes wrong, it's automatically my fault. Well, that's the depression talking, she said so calmly. Wow. We had talked earlier on in our sessions about my anxiety, and it was very clear that I was struggling with postpartum anxiety, but we had never talked specifically about postpartum depression. To me, postpartum depression felt so much more real, so scary, and it honestly just made me feel so much more broken. I felt like I could deal with having postpartum anxiety. I mean, isn't everyone just a stressed out mom? But postpartum depression was so foreign to me. I felt fearful that people would think I was a bad mom, that I couldn't take care of my kids, that there was something wrong with me. I mean, I didn't feel depressed. I wasn't under the covers crying and unable to get out of bed, which was my previous experience with my depression when I was in high school, and I felt like I was getting better. But there it was, clear as day and right out of my therapist's mouth. I was a woman who had postpartum depression and anxiety. Did you know that 1 in 5 women suffer from either postpartum anxiety or postpartum depression? And so many moms out there just suffer in silence. They are afraid just like I was, and sometimes still am. What will people think of me? Am I really crazy? Why can't I just get it together? For me, my anxiety isn't always panic attacks or heavy breathing like they show so often on TV, but more of a mental tug and what we refer to in my home as my spiral. It starts with the smallest trigger, mostly connected to me feeling like I've made a mistake or I'm inadequate in some way, and it turns into spiraling thoughts that I struggle to shut down. Something as simple as getting the wrong thing at the grocery store can become catastrophic. Ugh, I don't have time to go back now. I always do this. I am so forgetful. See, this is what happens because you never pay attention. Why are you so stupid? Ugh, why are you thinking like this again? See, now no one wants to talk to you because you're crazy and ruined dinner. This spiral is followed by some tears on my part, my family looking confused because they don't know what to say to me, and me feeling even more guilty because I ruined it again. It wasn't until this pattern had happened for a few months in a row and a lot more crying on the middle of my kitchen floor that I realized I needed help. I told my husband I had to do something. I was tired of feeling so tired and life was just exhausting me. As a life coach, I felt like an even bigger fraud because I felt even less together than I ever had been. And I knew that it was going to have bigger repercussions for my family if I didn't get help. So one day, I bravely walked into a therapist's office and just said it. I think something is wrong with me, followed by those ever-flowing tears. After a few sessions, she had diagnosed my postpartum anxiety and later my postpartum depression. And we had come up with some coping techniques that have helped me get through my days better. I share them openly with my husband, though honestly, I sometimes worry that I am too vulnerable with him. But they help him help me with my anxiety when it gets really bad. In the 5 months since I realized that I needed help, I am proud to say that many of the techniques, from counting to breathing to reframing and more, have really helped me when I am in a spiral. And while I would love to say that my spirals are gone, at least I can say that when I am in the moment, I can self-identify what's happening and bring myself out of it much quicker. So many of us are afraid to speak our truths because we don't want to be judged. We don't want to admit that something is wrong with us. We love our kids and want to be seen as a good mom. But in keeping our struggles silent, we not only harm ourselves, but our family and other women who are suffering in silence. In that vein, I've had a few amazing women be willing to speak out on their struggles and share their personal experiences with postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression. Because the thing is, it affects everyone so differently, which is why it's also hard to identify right away. We might just think we're stressed or hormonal or just having a bad day. But mama, if you feel off, if your struggle lasts a bit, if you know something just doesn't feel right, can I encourage you to go and talk to someone, be it another mom, your doctor, or a family member? Because you don't have to feel stuck. You don't have to feel alone, and you don't have to feel lost. Because you are not alone. You just listened to the post titled, I Am 1 in 5, The Truth Behind Postpartum Depression and Anxiety by Cara Harvey of apurposedrivenmom.com. I want to say thank you so much to Cara for letting me share this post with you today. It takes a lot of courage to speak out about postpartum depression and anxiety because of the stigma associated with it. 20% of women suffer from it, which isn't a small number at all. Suffering in silence is often done out of fear, but speaking up helps you know that you're not alone. So if you're struggling with depression or anxiety, I hope Cara's post inspires you to talk to someone you can trust. Support, hope, and healing can be a part of your life. And on that note, I want to remind you that you're always free to reach out to us or ask any questions in our friendly Facebook group. Simply visit oldpodcast.com/Facebook. But with that, let's wrap it on up. Thanks so much for joining me here today, and virtual hugs to all of you. I'll see you tomorrow for the final post of the week, where your optimal life awaits.